Hey everybody, Bob Paskins here. Let's get ready for another 2-minute motivational drill. This week we've been talking about the power of consistency. We first of all started off with talking about how consistency will lead to long-term growth. Next, we spoke about how consistency leads to perseverance. Today, I would like to talk about how consistency leads to discipline. We'll start off with a quote from E.M. Gray. And E.M. Gray stated that the successful person has the habit of doing things that people who fail don't like to do. Now, the successful person doesn't like to do them either, but the dislike is subordinate to the strength of their ultimate purpose. Now, there are a number of things that hit me in that quote. First of all is that in all parts of the job, there are going to be things that we really don't want to do. That it could be something like cold calling or reaching out or developing leads or just doing paperwork or something in there that you just really don't want to do and you grumble and you push it aside. Second of all, it's what you do in that moment that really develops who you are. It develops if you're going to be successful or not. It's that choice. It's that discipline of saying, you know what, I really don't like doing this, but I need to do it, so I'm going to do it. And third, and maybe even most important, that successful people actually have a purpose. That the purpose trumps or it overcomes the dislike of doing that particular activity. So much so that you actually do the activity because it will ultimately serve that purpose. Now, I can relate to that. When I started out in my professional career, I was looking, and I had a purpose in life, and my purpose in life was, by the time my wife and I were going to have kids, I was going to have enough of a strong financial business plan and bringing in enough income that she would have the opportunity, if she wanted to work, great. If she wanted to stay at home and be a mom, great. If she wanted just to develop her own thing, great. She wouldn't have to worry about anything financially because I would be able to take care of that. And so I entered into my business. And really what that meant was I was doing a lot of cold calls. Now the funny thing was I was hired at the time to start out, and there was another new producer who was also hired at the same time. And what that basically meant was, because I didn't really have the relationships or the network, it was a bunch of cold calling. And that's what I started to do. I was making cold calls, and boy, cold calling can be tough. But I did that because I had the discipline. Even though it was something I did not want to do, I had the greater purpose of thinking that, great, if I'm able to build my career to such an extent, I won't need to cold call later, and I'll be able to have the financial acumen to be able to take care of my family should Danielle want to work or not. Now, the other individual who was hired at the same time didn't have the purpose. And surely he started to slowly slow down on his cold calling. And what that meant was he had less success, and ultimately he was let go from the company. Which this actually led to two things. First of all, the satisfaction of actually doing the work and reaping the reward. And then the second thing was the company saw how well that I worked and rewarded me with the business of my fallen colleague, that I would be able to take over his accounts as well. So here's the drill. Please note that there are kind of three things here. First of all, every job has things that you aren't going to want to do. No job has things that you want to do all the time. There will be things that you dislike. Second is, it's your choice. It's your discipline at that moment. What are you going to do during that time? Are you going to basically suck it up and do those things that you dislike, knowing that it will lead you to your goal and to reach your purpose? Or are you going to really look to walk away and not do those, which actually can create problems down the line and slow your growth? And third, and maybe most important, do you have a purpose out there? And is that purpose greater? Will that overcome your desire to not want to or to avoid things you want to dislike? Rather, is that purpose strong enough that you're like, you know what, I have to do these things that I dislike because it will get me to my ultimate goal. So that's a 2-minute motivational drill for today. Please remember to be engaged, let your light shine, and to be a champ. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.